Hey, Creative Mom, Kamela here from Creative Mom's Decant. So today I'm going to show you how to use your Cricut Maker to engrave a car coaster. Let's go!
With an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection.
Alright, so I talk about setting up your canvas all the time. And we're going to start here in Cricut Design Space and set up our canvas. So basically the shape that I'm wanting to engrave today is 2.5-inch circles. One, I just kind of set the colors appropriately. And of course, do you know what this green is here? If you watch me, you do. It's my backup. I don't use green a whole lot, and so I always have a green shape up here, and that's just in my mind. I know that this is a blank I can always come back to if I am cropping or anything like that. So I'm also going to set these two to the side, and we're going to start with this one. And I want to do a beachy theme. So the first thing I want to do is add text. And so I am going to open up my text and go to filters and look at writing text. That will help me in the engraving process. Usually writing fonts will engrave nicely. So let's try one like this. So it looks bold and it looks awesome, right? But in the writing, it's going to write lines just like you would for handwriting, which is perfect for engraving. So let's go ahead and type and then I'm just going to play with our editing tools and get this lined out. So centering and deciding where I want and what kind of shapes I want with it. I'm going to show you how you can use a filler shape to fill objects in next.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me.
So what I've done is opened up another session of Design Space, and I've opened my foil or engrave filler starter shape. I'll link this project below. You're going to want to click Customize. And then once this project comes up, you're going to want to copy it and paste it into the canvas that you're working on. And then essentially you're done. I always leave that open in case I mess up. So you want to leave this a 5 by 7. Don't change the size. A rounded object like this isn't going to matter on how you place it, but let's say you chose a surfboard. Going to the beach and surfing is on my mind. With an object like a surfboard, the angle does matter, and you do not want to cut this straight on. So straight on would be like this. You want to twist it at an angle and cut it. And I oftentimes do try this angle. I may try this angle, and depending on the item, that may help. This kind of a shape, it isn't really going to matter. The biggest thing is going to be where your cutouts are at. So let's delete this and grab our sun, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. So I am taking both of these and placing them on top and selecting both and slicing. And the reason I'm doing that is so that we can actually engrave. So now if I change this shape to engrave, it's not going to change the shape. I'll show you what I mean. Clean up my pieces here, and let's go right back in here to Design Space and find that shape. Here it is. If I was to change this shape right now to engrave, this is how it would engrave. And so I wanted the whole sun to engrave. So I am going to go ahead and work these designs here and get them all to engrave neatly, and then I'll show you how we send them to mat. designs are done. So next we want to make sure that they are exactly where we want them. So don't forget to use those alignment tools like I didn't do right here. And then attach everything together. So I'm going to and make sure that this is centered and then attach. And I'm going to select these and attach and these and attach. And we are done with our helper shapes, so we do not need those on our screen. However, we do need another helper shape. So we're going to grab a circle. Make sure with the new shapes that you do grab a circle. And you want to make your circle size really tiny. So we're going to go 0.01 here. And you want to position it up here using your X and your Y to 0.25 for both coordinates. All right, and then I recommend that you engrave one at a time. So even though we designed 2 today, we are going to use the eye to hide the 2 blanks that we're not engraving at this current second. You do want to make sure that you do keep your helper shape. If you were doing a clear acrylic, I would recommend that you mirror your image, and I do that here by flipping. However, we are doing the front side of a coated acrylic, so we do not want to mirror. So we want to go ahead and place our shape where we want it to cut on the mat on this screen. So undo. I'm going to go to my position tools again, and I'm going to place it 1 and 1. And then I'm going to select both my helper shape and the item I want to engrave right after I make that disappear. We don't want to engrave that, right? That was just helping us as well. So you want to take it to this point though, and then select both of these. Nope, and you have to take it to undo. You select both of these and attach, and then make your basic cut disappear. This will keep your edging correct exactly. And then this also helps you so that when we place and we set up our mat, we're going to put our blank right on the 1 line. And make sure you turn your helper shape to engrave also and head to make it. And here we are. So I use, and it's a saved setting for me, the craft board setting. I'll meet you on the mat. All right, so I just have a old strong grip mat, and we're going to use tape, and we're going to tape these down. So remember, it's at the 1 and the 1. So I'm going to place my blank exactly on those lines. And we don't engrave, and I have not said this enough. I don't know that I've said it at all, but don't engrave all the way to the edge, because you really want to get these taped down good. If you don't, they will move. It will happen. And you also do not want the tape to be where your design is at all. It cannot be, or it will not work. It will not look nice in the end. So I'm only putting the tape on the edge, and I am going to do all 4 edges. I also like to break my own rules. You can ask my kiddo because he'll tell you. I definitely do. And I'm going to go ahead and line up these 2 and tape them down as well. And we're going to run this through at the same time. I rolled you through all of that because I wanted you to see really the time I take to tape this down. And I really want to preach my preach. Tape is not expensive. All right, moms, hear me out. Tape really isn't. How often do we tell our child no to tape? Okay, so I used to, and I don't anymore. Tape is not that expensive. Use the tape. you've went to all this work. If this slides, you will lose your blank completely. With the risk I'm taking, I could lose all three. So we need to load our engraving tip, and it's number 41 if I had my tip container organized. There it is. So it's number 41, and we're going to place this in our main slot here. So we're going to remove our normal blade and place this one in, and it is that easy. I have the whole housing on that. You can get them, and man, none of those are quick. Yeah, this is. You can do a quick swap housing. So that's like what I have here. And just buy the bottom piece of this and switch it out. They switch out with a push button. It's super easy. There's this one. So either way, whatever you find that is affordable, do that. And I'm using my Cricut Maker 3 today, and load the mat. And you do need to move your wheels. And if you know me, you know I always forget that. So I don't think any of them are over my blanks now, but I'm going to double check. Nothing goes over a blank. Move that one a little bit more. All right, that looks great. Now it just has to rock and roll. All right, so we're ready to unload this mat and take these off. The tape makes it a little bit of work, but it's totally worth it. Sometimes an X-Acto knife underneath. Of course, I use that Cricut tool that I talk about all the time, or just I dive in, and this is why my fingernails get tore up all the time. I am so excited. Love it. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. Coffee and Jesus. Now let's get into this one. I absolutely love this one too. The flip-flops are adorable. It's going to look so cute in my car. I love my new car coasters. We etched with our Cricut Maker today. The beach is calling and I must go. I know, I must go. Have a joyful day, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
With an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection.